see you talking into one, but he reckons he can hear me. So it must be because it's that type of mic or whatever it is. Where this one does work. You can see it working now.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So
How does it work?
gentlemen, please welcome the teams onto the field. Marconi Stallions and your Sydney FC.
Good morning and welcome to this Sunday brunch NPL kickoff between the Sydney FC youngsters and the juggernaut that is the Marconi Stallions. Sydney's weather has been crazy. The extreme heat has meant this game has been moved to the unusual kickoff time of 11 a.m. Some of these Marconi players probably haven't played an 11 a.m. kickoff since their under 14 game days. The Sydney FC youngsters though, those under 14 days were only a few years ago. Sydney FC snap a run, 3 games without a win. Stallions, their unbeaten run. Five the defending champions. Wayne. Sunday night. Initially there was going to be Sunday middle of the day, but extreme weather quite good. Start there. When they got to the players to as well, which you might be able to hear on my microphone. Thankfully, players, referees, everyone out on that AstroTurf, which can add an extra 10 degrees to it. Right start by the youngsters. Jesus loving having him in their starting team. Of course, he was an unused sub. Jungle Hyundai. Champions League 2 midweek. No Taro Camijo. So you have a league men's game tonight against Wellington Phoenix. So plenty of exciting youngsters in this team with A-League men's Silky football. Marconi's number 6. Headed through for True. He stands up and hooks up and that's his team quarter. Feeling himself. Sunday. Now Marconi knocking on the door. Another corner for Marconi. Big bodies in there. Able to break the deadlock. It's nearly all the way in as well. And Rose back into the starting So close to being the opening goal for Sydney FC. Loves all the Sky Blues, particularly. Rising stars. Can't get opportunities. Love the people on the edge of the box. Just like travelling through behind the goal. Sydney FC going into this game. Youngsters, Tyler Williams and Will Kennedy as well. Under 19s tournament, the BBO4 tournament in Germany, where they finished runners up, defeating storm, better and better as the storm goes on. Agonisingly close to taking the lead. But drinking, which so far, For the 1-2. And he gets it. Threads the needle for France. Jump up. Now defender. Gets back there and sends it out for a corner. Both teams so far. Neither. They will make it count yet. Making part is going to be Corey Cronin. Left foot. Into Kingston's goal. The goal was from a corner. Loading to the back post. In the air for an age and then it fell. Marconi bursting forward. The long switch back starts off. Touch as always. Domenico's got Daniel making the overlapping run. He finds him with a nice backfield. Set up for him. He was able to clear it, but as far as the knowledge. Hilton. Harvest this time he's run slightly. Straight away and Harvest gingerly. Lovely, delicate little pass. And nearly set up there for True, who was offside anyway. That for the first half.
Half-time, ladies and gentlemen.
Lunch.
Half-time score. Sydney FC 0, Marconi Stallions.
Sky Blues had a couple of chances of their own.
1, 2. There we go. Can see it now. Testing 1, 2. Why does it?
Because that means all the stuff I said, all my material, I can use again. That's weird how.
1, 2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2. It's. Good, Matt. How are you? So, just looking back, the commentators just mentioned his audio from the mic. You can't hear it in the feed. Yeah. No, we do. So, like, if I flick it to plus 48, I can see. Just turn your mic on. Okay.
Hello.
See him, but it's like it's very loud. So I don't know what's happening with like yeah. Yeah, but you know, putting on plus 48 voltage is I guess it's fixing it. Like I can see. Do you just want to talk now?
Test 1, 2, 3. Can you guys hear me? You picking me up? Loud and clear. Second half coming up at Rockdale.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool, Matt. Just I'll keep it at that level for now. No, he's just got a like a microphone stick that he pulls down and turns on and he lifts it up and then turns it off. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want me to reinsert the SD, the SIM card as well? Yeah, this looks like it's had better days than the one that I've got, so. Oh, okay. Right, okay. Because I did send this one away, and they didn't do something to it. Yeah, now I can actually see the screen. It's literally like, it was on like no battery or backlight or whatever. So yeah, I've just re-plugged it now, so let me know how you go. Alright, cheers mate. Bye. So I think this is stuff that I'm learning as I go.
Yep.
Because I'm only doing this job like once every fortnight or something.
Yep.
So that mic or headset with no batteries, I need to put it on plus 48 voltage to give it extra juice.
To give it a bit of... Yeah, okay.
He didn't know there was actually commentary on this game, so he just thought it was fine. So in a way, it's a bit shit, but you're gonna have commentary for this point.
Mate, it just means
You've got more talking points.
it means I can just recycle every single talking point that I've used.
Yeah, and come up with the best second half.
But let's go. Let's go. That didn't even happen. That was a warm up. All right, beautiful. Should I mute it? I'll mute it.
Yeah, because I don't know what's to go with all this live stuff, how it's all going to run.
Yeah, I know. Different cameras.
Well, like the info, like if I have it on auto, does that mean it's auto over there or auto here? And do I see it displayed here? Like it's all like
It's a couple.
yeah.
I mean, that's the thing. If he thought that there was no comms, that's obviously why. Because otherwise,
Yeah.
within 2 seconds, they would have rang in like a
No,
Welcome back to the second half here at Rockdale. Apologies for the no commentary. We're having some audio issues, but it's all crazy in Sydney this week. The heat does wild things, and that's why this game got moved to a Sunday brunch time slot. Some of these Marconi players, this is giving me vibes of under 14s kickoff time slot. Some of these players wouldn't have played at 11 a.m. for over a decade. For these Sydney FC youngsters, though, they're only a few years removed from playing in times like this, and you could tell from that opening half from the Sky Blues, despite being goalless since round 2, they are mixing it with the defending champions here at Rockdale. It's very, very warm, which is why this game got pushed back to 11 a.m. and our match of the round between Sutherland and Rockdale got pushed to 6 p.m. as the sun now, which has been playing hide and seek behind those clouds, starts to appear, and I hope for the players' sake it's not too hot, because playing on AstroTurf can be like playing on a stove. But the heat hasn't deterred from the quality of the football. Both teams had chances to break the deadlock. Jake True, after some silky football from Dom Costanzo, drew a good low save from Joe Hofslot, and then Marin France had a couple great chances on the end of some beautiful football from the Sky Blues, who, like you often see with these academy teams, they only know how to play one way, and that is positive attacking football. You'll never see them park up for a draw, and you'll never see them go route one either. Costanzo, just the first few games of the season, just his second start, and he's been in everything so far. Domenico on this Domenica Martina kickoff Sunday morning NPL football, 0-0 so far. Bernie has also been very busy. They float across in, they managed to get a head on it. It's a beautiful low save by Hoofslot once again. Denies Sekenis. Great early start to this second half by Marconi. You've just dialed it up a couple notches. They are unbeaten in season 2025, but it's not the unbeaten run you would expect. 2 wins, 3 draws. All 3 draws by the scoreline of 1-1. Corner sent to Hofslot, and he's been thrust straight into action just like he was in the first. Getting down low to deny, you have to say, probably the MVP of the opening 5 games of the season for Marconi, their top goal scorer. After 5.5 games, Damien Sekenis is on the ball there. Lovely touch, and then release for Costanzo. Looks up, he has True in the middle. He might decide to go himself. Williams does well. Goes stride for stride with the Marconi winger there. Here is Mr. Marconi, the longest reigning player in the club's history. Just put that into context. Think of all the Socceroos. Harry Kuehl, Mark Schwarzer, Matty Ryan, even Italian international Bob Bovieri, have all at some stage in their career called Marconi home, but they're number 23, which is an iconic number in sports. Not just football, of course. Number worn by Michael Jordan, LeBron James, David Beckham. Mr. Marconi, their longest serving player. That is an insane and very, very impressive stat. His team have a corner. Second one in quick succession. Bit of tumbling and nearly went straight into the goal from the corner, and it's a free kick anyway. You might see in the top right of your screen, nice little travelling section of the Cove, who are pulling double duty tonight, because of course Sydney FC's A-League men's team take on Wellington Phoenix later tonight. Plenty of time though for those 4 or 5 travelling Cove members to attend both games. Advantage played by the ref. Fowler, nice ricochets across goal. It might fall for France, who was one of, if not Sydney FC's best. Bit of tussling going on there between Sekenis and Williams, and Sekenis wins the free kick. It's Second half has really dialed up a notch. It was a very entertaining first half. It was end-to-end, but a little bit of urgency now with the defending champions. The Marconi Stallions have gone now from being the hunters to the hunted. And we've seen them pegged back late in games twice this season. Their opening game match against Blacktown, a game they dominated. They led 1-0. They didn't concede a shot on target all the way until the 95th minute. Lovely chested touch there for Velo's unable to get enough power on the shot, but falls for Daniel, and now Costanzo looking to dance through two Sydney FC players, unable to that time, decides to pass instead. Marconi have just flicked it up a notch. If you're just joining us now, Sydney FC looking to snap a 3-game run without a win, 2 losses and a draw in that time span. Of course, they made a great start to the season. They're up 2-1 against Spirit, which last season that would have been a matchup between two teams just looking to avoid relegation. But of course, Spirit, our stunning leaders after 6 games, dropping points for the first time last night. Sydney FC led their opening game 2-1 before they were pegged back 3-2. Nice little step over there, and brilliantly done by Daniel, who sees it out for a corner. And then they followed that game up, Sydney FC with a statement. The youngsters dishing out a footballing lesson to Sydney United. And then in week 3, a game against St. George City, what you so often see with these academy teams, players get called up to A-League men's duties. Sydney FC men's team had a game against Perth that same night, so the young Sky Blues were missing a number of players that day. They also had a couple players, Joe Hofslot was one of them, on under-20s Asia Cup duty. And they ended up losing that game 5-0. Marconi go long, and Hofslot's been very busy. They followed that week 3 loss. They got some players back and ended up getting a good point against Manly, and last week were very brave in a losing effort, conceding very early and very late against Apia at Lambert Park. And thankfully Jimmy Van Meeren will be happy that his side haven't made a similar start. Jake True forcing a good low save. And then after that, Sydney FC enjoyed a really nice spell. A lot of good stuff happening down that right-hand side, thanks to that man who put the commentator's curse on him there, for Zachary De Jesus. Another Wollongong boy featuring in this game. They go long. Yes, it's dropping back there. Marconi's captain showing no signs of slowing down. 21 goals in all competitions last season. He's got 1 this season. And still buzzing around the football pitch like a 21-year-old. Marconi's captain, True, delicate little pass, finds Bernie, has a little bit of space, looks to tee up a player there. As a free shot for Costanzo. He also had Jesic queuing up. They were queuing up on the edge of the box, and Costanzo unable to steer his shot goalward. But a great start to the second half by Marconi. Just one change made late in that first half. Sydney FC's captain Alan Harbers pulled up gingerly. It looked like maybe a leg injury. He was replaced at halftime by Zach Flower. There's just one change, but both these teams with plenty of firepower. Sydney FC came into this game. They made 2 changes. Dylan Rose came back into the team, and Tay Headley in number 10. Marconi unchanged, and so far no goals. As the temperature starts to rise here, both literally and metaphorically. De Jesus looking to get around Daniel, but Minaric was there to mop it up. He finds himself out of position just for half a second there, and Anton Minaric also found himself in the referee's book in the first half, so just something for the defender to think about. having to play the remainder of this game on a yellow card. As will Marko Jesic. We've seen a couple big tackles and a little bit of push and shove, but the youngsters happy to mix it with the big boys in every aspect of the game. But the referee's done a good job keeping a lid on it, stopping it from boiling over, and these two teams met last season twice. Marconi won both those games by an aggregate score of 7-0. They won 3-0 at the Palace and 4-0 here at Rockdale, and we've seen what Marconi are capable of last season. They seem to always just find another gear, particularly when they were playing the big teams. They were Rockdale's kryptonite, beating them 9-0 at the Palace, which is insane, because Rockdale were our runaway premiers, winning by 7 points, and then Marconi were way too good for them in the grand final as well, winning by 3-0. Of course, one of the goal scorers from that grand final, James Semmelkowski's moved on to the A-League. One of his replacements, Jake True, though, is on the ball now. They square it across goal, and it is Marko Jesic, and Marconi do have their goal. Who else but their captain, Marko Jesic, makes it 1-0 for Marconi, and they get the reward for a very positive start to this second half. Lovely run by Jake True, and he finds his captain, and Marko Jesic does the rest, and Marconi lead Sydney FC, a very brave Sydney FC, by 1-0. The Cove is up on their feet. They're trying to will their team on. But this is the second half that Peter Sekenis would have wanted. They definitely weren't bad in the first half by any stretch of the imagination, but Sydney FC were just threatening, and if it wasn't for a couple shots falling agonisingly wide, Sydney FC could have led in the first half, but any nerves felt by any Marconi players or staff or fans watching on the Football New South Wales YouTube would have been eased a bit, because Marko Jesic has his second goal of the season. He had 21 last year, of course. He scored one in the grand final. James Semmelkowski scored another. He is now playing for the Western Sydney Wanderers. Another goal scorer in that grand final is on the bench today, looking to make his third appearance of the season, Milislav Popovic. Sydney FC looking to hit straight back. It might fall at the back post to De Jesus, but Marconi deal with it. And the Travelling Cove, even though there's only 6 of them, by my account, hopefully you guys could see them on your screen, making some noise, and they'll make you plenty of noise last week at Lambert. I love when the fans of these A-League teams come and support their future stars. The academies, Wanderers, always very well supported in this competition, as are Sydney FC, and they've turned up today, braving the heat. Of course, they're going to be watching plenty of football, because Sydney FC played tonight at 7 o'clock. It's Marconi, though, in control. Vela, a nice little touch and a burst of pace. Has he won his team a corner? Yes, he has. Nice little chant of Sydney forever. He burst out, and Costanzo's going to take this corner in front of the Cove. Doesn't look like they're sledging him. Don't know if sledging a player as good as Dominic Costanzo is a good idea. Here he is to take the corner. Marconi looking to double their lead. Plenty of corners in this game on both sides, unable to make anything of them yet. Headed back across goal. Wolfsalt was at full stretch, and he was fouled. It was bundled in by Anton Milnaric, but foul on the Sydney FC goalkeeper before, and a relieving free kick for the Sky Blues. Nice breeze rolling through here, which you might be hearing on my microphone. And Sydney FC already made one change, forced to make one at half-time. Their captain, Alan Harbus, coming off with an injury, replaced by Zach Flower. Plenty of firepower and experience on the bench from Marconi. That just shows you, and I've seen this a couple times, nervy stuff. Jesic pressing, and Middleton did very well there. Both Sydney FC centre-backs, him and Joseph Kalisic, very comfortable with the ball at their feet. We're going to have to stop in play. Players are going to get a quick drink. Marconi have broken the deadlock. They lead by 1-0. Beautiful football down the right-hand side by Jake True, who was very close in the first half to finding the opening goal. He did, though, set it up for his captain, Marko Jesic. Marconi starting to turn the screws here at Rockdale as the temperature starts to turn up as well. They lead by 1-0. The players are going to get a very quick drink. While they do that, we're going to do the same. We'll be back in a quick second. Okay, guys, if you're wondering what's going on, don't worry, the game hasn't been called off. I didn't even know this rule existed, but the players have to come off for their second drinks break and they have to go into the shade. It's very sun smart. So if you're wondering why players are walking off, they're actually walking to either side of where we park up for commentary. And this is just football in its purest form here. Players under a tree getting some shade. Players are going to get a quick drink, so they're going to be back in about 90 seconds, and so will we. But don't worry, there's no players on the field. The game has not been called off. It is very, very hot, but players having a second half drinks break, and they're doing it under the shade and off camera currently. So we'll be back soon. Okay, we're back. I can honestly say that's the first time I've ever seen a drink and shade break, but definitely the right call because it has been steaming hot in Sydney this weekend, and that's why we're playing at 11 a.m. So the players had a quick drink, and by rule, according to our referee, who knows it better than me, clearly, and the players, who had no idea, it was quite funny. The players got to have a quick sip of water under the shade for a couple minutes. They had a drinks break in the first half as well. About half an hour to go here. Half an hour for Marconi to continue their unbeaten start to season 2025. Half an hour for Sydney FC to get a goal. And it'll be their first goal since week 2. They've been very, very brave, the youngsters in Sky Blue. And just to put into context how brave, this is an 11 o'clock kickoff. Very interesting time slot. It's the perfect time slot, though, for a team bonding session after, if you know what I mean. Maybe at the Coogee Pavilion, which is about half an hour away. Majority of these Sydney FC players aren't even old enough to have a drink, legally. You've got ageless players like Marko Jesic, who's double the age of players in Sky Blue that are marking him. So it's the beauty of this competition. You get to see the current gold standard, the defending champions Marconi, and then the future superstars of Sydney FC. Bernie takes the throw. He goes long. Shouts of handball. Referee had the perfect view. He says no. Goes to Mlinaric. Daniel bursting forward. This is a cross goal. True was there just a little bit in front of the ex-Wollongong man, and he does well to just send that one out for a throw and keep the pressure on. Couple shouts of a foul throw. That's something you don't see often. Ball falls for McAllister. He has 2 goals this season. He was looking to find Flower goal here. Sydney FC would be huge, but they're under the pump once again. Costanzo's been fantastic. Lovely turn by Sekenis, and the shot! It was nearly a beautiful goal, but a lovely, outstretched, picturesque save by Hoofslot. Draws the praise of the travelling Cove and keeps Sydney FC in this game. Beautiful football from Marconi, who are really starting to flex their muscles. They've got players warming up as well. Got plenty of goals on the bench. This corner first though. Loaded in, Hoofslot gets up there and does well. Sekenis very close on a couple of occasions, getting his 3rd goal of the season. Jesic's goal means that Sekenis and the Marconi captain are now equal top goal scorers for their club. 2 goals each this season. Lovely football. Flag goes up though. Frustrating for Sydney. Beautiful one-touch football. De Jesus on that far right-hand side just mistimed his run slightly. And I was speaking about Damien Sekenis. Marconi had to replace the goals, the void of losing James Temelkovsky. They also lost Hiro Akiyama as well. So Temelkovsky and Ayama leaving a huge hole up front for Marconi, but it looks like they've replaced them with some very shrewd signings, bringing over Jake True from Wollongong. And Damien Sekenis, son of their coach Peter, comes with A-League men's experience from his time at the Central Coast Mariners. Big layoff, over 2 years out of the game and showing no signs of rust. Already has 2 goals this season. I've spoken to some of his teammates and they've said, no, he is a little bit rusty. What you've seen isn't even close to his best work yet. He's about 60% at the moment, and that's frightening because his 60% has been one of the best players in the competition this season. Flag goes up. True's been involved in everything in this second half. Nice work there by Rosie, as he's known by his teammates. Finds a bit of space out wide for De Jesus. Nice little 1-2, looking for Middleton. Lachlan Middleton unable to get the return pass. Marconi can break down this left-hand side. Costanzo bursting forward. Will we get another Domenico Costanzo clinic? Not that time. Sydney FC do well to get back there and hold on. Now their chance to break. This is nice end-to-end football at the moment. The sun has disappeared, which is a relief for everyone here at Rockdale. Bit of space on the left-hand side for Headley. Headley going up against Bernie, looking for Flower. Header away, only as far as Middleton. Looks like for a half second he's going to have a chance to shoot. Space was closed down, he passes instead. Cronin. Jesic gets back there. Bayless is there as well, and he wins his team a free kick. That's just the experience of Marconi. Minutes start to tick away here. Plenty of football coming up on your Sunday. One of 3 games. We've got a bit of activity on the Sydney FC bench. It looks like Joe Lacey is going to get ready to come on. And James Bayliss, who was fouled, has stayed down. It looks like he's gesturing maybe a groin or a stomach. He's back to his feet though, which is good news for Marconi. And then number 8. Marconi, a couple of players using this break and play to get a quick drink. I don't blame them. Very, very hot. At this stage, their team leads by 1-0. True's been busy in this second half. Has been in everything, linking up with Bernie that time, bursting forward like he did for that first goal, and he wins his team a free kick. Lovely work from the Wollongong native, wins his team a free, and James Bayliss is still favouring that groin region from that challenge earlier. Marconi with a free kick here and a chance to double their lead. Looks like Sydney FC going to have to wait to make that change. It will be Joe Lacey to come on. Marconi yet to make a change. Perfect response after an even first half. Defending champions have flexed their muscles in the second. Marco Yes's second goal of the season has given them the lead, and can they double it? It's the left boot of Costanzo. Tight angle, he might be goal provider here as opposed to scorer, but he's capable of anything. Costanzo to take. Floats it to the back post. Strong palm away by Hofslot. It falls to Jesus. He looks to get around Daniel. Fresh legs of the halftime sub Flower. Goes for the switch. Would have had to have been a miracle ball. Vela was there to intercept. They go long. Jesic. Cronin getting back there and doing well. That is youth against experience right there. Ex-Manly youngster Corey Cronin going up against Marco Jesic. Almost double his age, but I tell you what, you wouldn't be able to tell by the way Marconi's captain is still playing, still running around like a 21-year-old. Still doing what he does best, and that is scoring goals for Marconi. His goal is the difference. Williams. A little bit of space out wide. Headley. Got Cronin making the overlapping run. It was quickly shut down by Bernie, and he may have won his team a goal kick. He did. That is brilliant by the ex-Blacktown man. Getting back there. Shows his experience there, winning the goal kick for his team. And I think finally, Sydney FC are going to make that change. And it's going to be Joe Lacey to come on. Marin France makes his way off the field, was sensational in that first half. Came close on a couple of occasions, had Sydney FC's best 2 chances of the first half. But just like the rest of his team in this second half, unable to influence the game, the attacking side of the field, because Marconi have switched up a gear or 2 in this second half. They've come out breathing fire. Sydney FC thought they had a foul, and they do. So, confirmation of that change. Sydney FC's second, Joe Lacey. He dropped to the bench. He did start last week. He does have 1 goal this season. A second one would be priceless. And Sydney FC, after scoring 5 goals in their opening 2 games, they haven't scored since, and it looks like could be a run stretched to 4 games without a goal. They go long looking for McAllister. Haven't seen too many clear chances for Sydney FC's number 9, and he's offside that time. Looks like Marconi going to get ready to make a change as well. There's a bit of activity on their bench. They've been rescued by some super subs this season. Mate Busek last week rescuing a point. We also saw Chimenti scoring the winner here against Rockdale in a 2-1 win. Floated to the back post. Kind of does very well. Came off his line and he was assured. Sydney FC had been under the pump all second half. 15 minutes to go. Nice little reverse pass and tidy feet as well. There's space on this left-hand side. Bursting forward is Cronin. Looking to find his teammate there at the back post. It was well dealt with by James Hilton, who hasn't had too much to do in this second half. But he was alert there to cut off the pass. And a little warning shot fired by Sydney FC. This Sydney FC Academy team, no Wataru Kamijo, started midweek. Sydney FC knocked out Jeonbuk Hyundai, the AFC Champions League 2. Kamijo's featured for Sydney FC more frequently this season. Of course, he was a mainstay for the last couple seasons for this Academy team, and Thiago Quintal has also made the transition up to the first team, featuring less frequently for the NPL team, but like all Academy teams, it's just a conveyor belt of talent. And this Sydney FC team is no different. Produced players like Adrian Segicic, who's been on fire this season. Here's Headley, bit of space on the right-hand side. A shot, it's a cross goal, and I think Hilton may have got a touch to it, but Sydney FC's best chance of the second half, almost out of nothing. It was touched by Hilton. He's saying he didn't get a touch to it. Lots of space down that right-hand side, and Sydney FC so close to an equaliser. Huge chance. So much space, it just opened up for Headley. Probably couldn't believe how much space he had. Was waiting to get closed down and then looked up. Had De Jesus out wide and drew a good save by Hilton, who I just said moments ago hasn't had too much to do, but he's been thrown into the fire here. Try a little corner routine. It looks like Liam Yule's getting ready to come on. Ex-Western Sydney Wanderer. And speaking about how stacked Marconi's team is, just take a look at their bench. Players like Yule, Chimenti, Cameron Windust probably would start at most teams in the NPL, but form this stacked Marconi roster. They're under the pump here though, and it's out for another corner. Headley, again the architect. Sydney FC, after being second best for a majority of this second half, showing good response here. And the Travelling Cove and all you Sydney FC fans watching on the Football New South Wales YouTube would be loving what you're seeing from your future superstars in Sky Blue. Can they get back into this game from a corner? It's a low corner. They try that low corner once again and just skid it on this AstroTurf, which turns into the M5, particularly when it's hot. And it's Anton Mlinaric, who's a little bit ginger, and because of the rising temperatures, the players are going to have a second drinks break of the half. So while the players get a quick sip of water, we're going to do the same, and we'll be back in a couple minutes. So the players are back after their third and final drinks break. Sydney FC make their third change. Glenn Rose coming off for Samuel Lancaster, and the young Sky Blues enjoying their best spell of the second half. Great chance a few minutes ago, and it's all been started by their number 10, Tay Headley. Couldn't believe how much space he had. Found Zach De Jesus on that right-hand side, who had a lot of space, but unable to beat James Hilton. Marconi's goalkeeper, 10 minutes away from a clean sheet. And another 3 points as the Stallions look to continue their unbeaten run in their title defence. In the most exciting year in Australian football, with the second division, the Oz Championship just around the corner, and Marconi are going to be a big player in that instalment and in the future of Australian football as well. Great times to be watching NPL football. Also, when you're watching these academy teams, you're watching future stars. Jaden Kaczarski, Adrian Segicic, and Ben Gibson all played for the Sky Blues in the NPL at some stage, and now doing their thing in the A-League. Marconi are doing their thing as well, picking up where they left off from last season when they played Sydney FC, winning both those games comfortably. This hasn't been as comfortable, although Marconi been much better in the second half after a very even first half. We've seen plenty of late goals this season in the NPL. It's been a theme. We saw a couple last night. Marconi's Italo Australian rivals Apia pegged back by St George FC after leading 3-1. Of course, St George FC did that to Marconi at the Palace as well. And it didn't get any later than Jacob Kresner's 95th minute equaliser in round one. Blacktown's first shot on target, stealing a point against Marconi. But the defending champions are about 10 minutes away. Of course, we've had 2 drinks breaks, so you can expect a nice chunk of added time. Sydney FC look like they're going to get ready to make a 4th change. Liam Yulee has come on for Marconi, and Jake True, I think, is offside. Yes, he is. They go long. Bernie has been rock solid all game. There's some space though for Lacey. Goes himself, tries to get around Mlinaric, who is on a yellow card, but referee says free kick's enough there. Free kick here for Sydney FC, and it's Lacey. Shoot away McAllister. This would be his 2nd goal of the season, and it'd be an absolute screamer if he could score from here. Lacey to take. Goes for the dink instead, and good in theory, but the execution was off. These teams, as the wind really picks up, have opted to go short today from goal kicks, and Marconi win. Another free kick as the minutes start to tick away. Sydney FC on track for another goalless performance, scoring 5 in their opening 2 games. This would be their 4th game without a goal. Can Marconi get that crucial second and ice this game? Hilton has been good when he's been called upon. Had to make a couple key saves. Getting his fingertips on one about 5 minutes ago, which has preserved this lead. Marconi looking to seal it. So Kenneth unable to find one of his teammates. Marconi usually wear their iconic Italia green, white, red. They're in a very slick black with some nice trim as well. It's one of the best kits I've seen this season. The FC waiting to make a change by Cronin. A little bit of space for him to find the cross. Hits a Marconi player. It takes another ricochet as well, and for a second it looked like it may have been a goal kick, but Lockie Griffiths getting back there, and the FC will make that change. It's going to be Junior Conde coming on as they try and rescue a point. So Conde on, Middleton off. In the FC with a corner here, looking to end this goalless streak, steal a precious point against the champions, and safety first there from Linarich. Hilton, he's filthy with something. Couldn't imagine being a ref. It's a very thankless job. He's doing a great job though. And so are Sydney FC to stay in this game. Can they rescue something? It's another good ball, just unable to find a sky blue head on it. Goes back out to the corner taker, Cronin. Flower, nice ball. Oh, just unable Lancaster to bring it down. So Sydney FC have made 4 changes. Marconi have made 2. Yuli and Mate Busek on the field for them. Busek was the hero last week. Yuli, very experienced. A-League men's experience with the Western Sydney Wanderers. That Marconi bench is stacked, and they are locked and loaded and ready for their title defence, and also one of the favourites you would think for the Oz Championship as well. 2 balls on the field. 20's warming up behind us. I don't envy them one bit. Having them play in the middle of the day. A high 30-degree temperature on AstroTurf probably feels like 50 degrees. Ball sent long by Hilton. Fresh legs of Yuli, a little bit overzealous there, and the FC have a free kick. A little bit of urgency now from the Sky Blues. They've made 4 changes. They've had chances in this game. We now have 7 minutes of added time. 7 minutes. Sydney FC to rescue something, end their goalless streak, to get a huge, priceless point against the defending champions. Another dodgy throw once again. You don't say foul throws anymore. That rule's extinct, I think. Yuli does well to ride the challenge of Kunde and Lacey, but then the stray pass there from True. It's been fantastic today. For the dink across field, goes over the head of Bernie. He'll be happy to see that one go, and precious seconds tick away, and Marconi on track for win number 3 to go with their 3 draws to open up the season. They came into this round one of 3 teams unbeaten. Spirit dropped points for the first time this season last night, but they still remained unbeaten in season 2025, and Wollongong as well. I spoke pre-game about how Marconi's unbeaten run was unusual. 2 wins, 3 draws. Wollongong, 1 win, 4 draws, but unbeaten is all that counts. Bursting forward is big centre-back Kalisic. It's a great run. And his cross took a deflection. No, it didn't actually. It's just that wind is whipping around, and it looked like it took a wicket deflection, but trickles out for a goal kick, and Hilton's going to be in no rush to take it. Marconi, 5 or so minutes away from their third win of the season, their second clean sheet. They follow this game next week. They're playing on a Sunday once again against another giant of Australian football, Sydney United. A little Bosley Park derby. Sees that one out, and Sydney FC want the second ball in the field. So Marconi, they follow this game up next week. They're in action at 3 p.m. on a Sunday. As I mentioned, two powerhouses of Australian football, two neighbours as well. That'll be an away game for Marconi, and then they're back at home at the Palace for back-to-back games against Western Sydney and St George City. So if they can get it, win or not lose next week, I have a feeling that this unbeaten run could stretch into the double digits. Yes, he tries to head the ball forward. James Hilton slipped. Thankfully he's okay. Been rock solid. Here's Busek. Scored last week. Can he ice the game this week? Shot sails over the bar. Sydney FC, they've got these balls on standby. They're firing them in. They don't want to waste any time. The travelling Cove has been making noise all game. And Sydney FC, they play Sydney Olympic next Saturday at Belmore. Going long looking for Flower. It's out for a throw though, and then they're at home against Mount Druitt the week after. Week after that, the Sydney NPL derby, Western Sydney against Sydney FC. Key run coming up for Sydney FC after this game. Some very winnable games coming up, and Jimmy Van Ruren will be loving what he's seen from his team. And they've been in the fight for the entire 90 minutes, and they still have a chance to rescue something here. Jared Middleton. Damien Saketis getting a word from our referee. It's been a fiery game, but nothing that's flown off the handle yet. The referee's kept a good lid on it, and this is not what Sydney FC will want. Precious seconds getting milked off the clock here with these frustrating free kicks. Griffiths goes long. Header away, only as far as Bayless. Marconi love to keep the ball right here in that far corner, as far away from James Hilton's goal as possible. Flag stays down, they take it to the quarter post. The Blue Jerseys swarm there, desperate to get the ball. And one last chance, looking for Conde. The ball was just misplaced slightly. A chance for them to seal it, and then nearly curled into the back post. That would have been the perfect way to put the cherry on top of a performance you'd expect from champions. Haven't been perfect, but they've been rock solid. Weathered some good patches by Sydney FC, and they are on track for win number 3 of the season, the Marconi Stallions. We're in the final minute of added time now. This is it for Sydney FC. They've got to find a way forward. Lancaster plays it back. This is not where they want to be. They've got to send it forward, Sydney FC. Looking for one last way, but they're getting hounded by this Marconi press. Yuli presses offside. He just sends it long. This is it. McAllister can't get his head on that one. Brilliant by Griffiths. Just a short pass, though. Mlinaric brings him down. No, waved away by our referees. He's on a yellow card as well. I thought, from my angle, it looked like it was a foul. The ref had a better view of it than me. Play goes on. Big sigh of relief from Mlinaric, because if that was a foul, he would have been off. Final seconds for Sydney FC. Shouts have got to go, got to go. They've got to send it forward. Cronin has been very good. Handball. It's out for a throw. Cronin hasn't stopped all game, it looks like, in a losing effort. Will they get a chance to Marconi throw? And that could be that. And it is. Marconi continue their unbeaten start to season 2025. The defending champions hold on to a 1-0 win. Sydney FC, the youngsters, were very, very good. They had some chances in the second half, though. Marconi just dialed it up a couple notches. Marco Jesic's second goal of the season is enough for Marconi to hang on to their third win of the season. Their unbeaten run continues for Sydney FC. That's now 4 games without a goal, but plenty of positives for Jimmy Van Wieren and all Sydney FC fans, the travelling cove that came here to Rockdale and braved out the heat, and all you guys watching on the Football New South Wales YouTube. Thanks for tuning in to this very unique brunch Sunday kickoff. Here's Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. Odd kickoff time, but you've been treated to a fantastic game, which has been won by the defending champions, Marconi. Their second clean sheet of the season. They hold on by 1-0. Marconi 1, Sydney FC 0. My name is Dal Montenegros. On behalf of everyone here at Football New South Wales, have a lovely Sunday and stay in the shade.